Well, since the transitional government took power last year, we've documented 50 killings and disappearances, specifically 34 killings, including summary executions, and 16 disappearances perpetrated by the Malian security forces. All of these abuses have been perpetrated within the context of counterterrorism operations or actions.
Is it also possible that these killings involving civilians began with the Tuareg separatist uprising in 2012?
Yes, indeed. Mali has continually deteriorated since 2012, when the northern half of the country fell to Tuareg separatists, who were then joined briefly by armed Islamists linked to Al Qaeda. Since then, the insecurity has moved from northern Mali into central Mali, and then further on into Burkina Faso as well.
Mali and other countries formed the so-called Sahel Five, a multinational military force, to deal with these insurgents and radical Islamists. Has this mission been effective anyway?
Well, it's very interesting when one tracks the military assistance, military training, the operations involving foreign forces in Mali. They don't seem to have deterred the advancements of the armed Islamists who have spread from northern to central Mali and now into Burkina Faso, and are, of course, threatening even other states further south, like Cote d'Ivoire and Benin. So clearly something isn't working. We believe the abuses perpetrated by the Malian security forces and the Burkinabe security forces, for that matter, are pushing young, angry people into the Islamist ranks.
Your report talks about the killings, disappearances, so many other issues going on. Have you been able to interview any witnesses or families of those affected, and what are they telling you?
Absolutely. That is how Human Rights Watch does our work, is that we base our work based on firsthand eyewitnesses with victims' witnesses and their family. So we interviewed over 40 of them for this report, and every report we do is anchored in firsthand witness testimony, as well as interviews with community leaders and diplomats and others who try to contextualize the violence and the incidents that we've documented.
There are reports that Germany has announced plans to send up to 600 troops in Mali. How significant is this plan in helping combat the violence in that country?
Yes, there is the involvement of numerous foreign countries, obviously with MINUSMA, the peacekeeping mission, as well as France, Germany, who are key partners in the fight against the spread of terrorism in the Sahel, and as well, quite recently, of Operation Takuba, which is a force of crack special forces from a number of European countries.
At this point, would you characterize Mali's conflict as interfactional, government versus Islamists, or a combination of all of these factors?
It's really a combination of all of them, including ethnic militias. It's a very complicated military picture involving numerous armed groups, all of which have perpetrated very serious human rights violations.
What are your organization's recommendations?
Well, we are pushing the Malians to ensure discipline within their forces, to prevent reprisal attacks against communities, to ensure that the provost marshals who are mandated and responsible for ensuring discipline and ensuring the rights of detainees are present in all operations, and also to make some progress on accountability.
What do you expect to see now with the death of Chad's president Idriss Deby? Chad being a key member of the Sahel Five, do you see this cooperation continuing, or what do you expect to see in the coming days?
Well, it's a very worrying recent development in Chad. Now we have two military transitional governments in Mali and in Chad. They are a key partner not only for G5 Sahel, but also the counterterrorism efforts in the Lake Chad Basin, which include Cameroon and Niger. So they're in a key strategic position, and they are now, facing significant insecurity and a very complicated political transition. So we're certainly very concerned about the implications and how abusive armed actors may take advantage of this insecurity, and this could contribute to a deterioration in security in this area, this vulnerable area of Africa.
What's the overall impact on the civilian population?
Civilians have suffered tremendously in Mali and indeed in Burkina Faso, in this entire region. There are There are several million displaced and refugees. There has been a hunger crisis. Access to education has dramatically decreased. I mean, the impact on the civilians is really markedly deteriorated in recent years, as well as for governments to step up their efforts to protect civilians.